Dying Light is a survival zombie parkour experience that drops players into the shoes of now one Kyle Crane, though Kyle has been hired by the GRE to airdrop into the city of Harran, situated in Turkey, where a vicious new form of rabies has begun eating, pun intended, through the inhabitants. Now, during the outbreak, the GRE lost extremely sensitive intelligence pertaining to said outbreak. Now, this intel has fallen into the hands of one newly risen warlord, Colonel Kadir Suleiman, a leader of a brutal group of crazies. Kyle doesn't know it yet. The GRE has a lot more in common with Suleiman, commonly referred to as Rice, than he was first told. After dropping in and being forced to fight off 3 thugs, he is saved by 2 runners, one of which though is quickly overrun and left behind, allowing Kyle to escape, though now only begin to delay the inevitable, as before escaping he was bitten. Escaping with his life, Kyle finds himself inside a tower named... it's called the Tower. Many survivors are held up here trying to just get by on their day-to-day lives. Here in the tower, Kyle meets his rescuer, Jade Aldemir, and her younger brother Raheem. Now Raheem quickly takes a liking to Kyle as he is sent to train him, though on Kyle's way back he suffers the first signs of the inevitable and has a seizure while climbing a crane. Raheem sends him to go get a shot of a suppressant drug called Antizin. This is being delivered to the Harran quarantine zone by the GRE through airdrops, a trope that PUBG would shamelessly rip off, 1 year later. While getting his medicine, he meets one Dr. Zir, who is attempting to research a cure for the virus, though with the little resources he has, he isn't very confident. Now after getting his dose of sweet speed, Kyle heads off to arm some traps for the tower, so Brecken, the tower's leader, can run a mission to recover more Antizin. And as seen in the promotional material for Dying Light, Brecken's group was killed and he was left badly damaged. Now this leaves Kyle to try and gather some Antizin himself. While searching for the airdrops, Kyle finally finds one full of Antizin. W's in the chat please. Though, when calling the GRE to let them know the great news, they tell Kyle to destroy it, as they believe it's for the greater good and it may force a meeting with Rice, the holder of this supposed intel. Reluctantly, Kyle follows through and destroys all but 1 vial for himself. Now on the way back to the tower, Kyle meets these bastards, Volatiles, and boy they got me feeling all some kind of way. Ow! Ah! Ah! Jesus! Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Oh my god, look at the map. Oh my god. Oh, hell. Jesus Christ. Ah! Look on. Oh, Jesus. Oh, what have I done? What have I done? Oh, dear God. Ah! After returning to the tower, the team now must decide on the next course of action. They eventually settle on sending Kyle, of course, to meet Rice to bargain for some Antizin. Now this goes about as well as expected, and after making Kyle jump through a couple hundred hoops, he only ends up returning to the tower with 5 vials, though Rice makes an offer that if he delivers Jade to him, he can get more for the tower, though he quickly shoots down that idea. Once again, Kyle contacts the GRE for advice, in which they again attempt to force him in the wrong direction by saying you should just give up Jade and to think of the bigger picture, Kyle. Distraught, Kyle cuts ties and hangs up on the GRE, and in retaliation they stop sending Antizin, which means all those people that got bit, well, it's gonna be a bit like watching Jim Brewer for 5 hours. It ain't gonna be good, and afterwards, one way or another, you'll be dead. Still on the hunt for more Antizin, Jade and Kyle sneak into a school. Well, it is posing as a storage building for Rice, it's not just any school. They're there to steal Antizin, of course, but they don't find any. Though, after escaping and retrieving the explosives, the team is still struggling. So, with the explosives, Raheem decides his best course of action is to sneak out and attempt to level a building that holds tons of infected, making missions in the area, if completed, much easier. Kyle finds Raheem badly injured and leaves him to go and detonate the explosives himself, as Raheem, thinking he wouldn't get out of there, has already armed them. Now, after an intense bit of parkour, the building comes tumbling down, and Kyle journeys back to Rahim to give him the good news.
Oh shit! No, Rahim, stop! Rahim, it's me! It's me, kid, it's Crane! Oh, Jesus! Rahim, stop! It's a fucking bite wound.
As Kyle talks over what happens now with Brecken, Jade overhears the news and storms off, just as Dr. Zere comes under attack. Kyle rushes to Zere's aid, but it is too late. Zere has been taken by Rice's thugs back to their main base. After breaking into Rice's base, Kyle is captured and thrown into Dying Light's equivalent of the Thunderdome. While there, he is forced to fight hordes of infected to survive. Of course, he does survive, and after the fight, Rice tells Kyle that he has already published the file, and then orders his men to kill him.
Doc, come on, let's get you out of here.
Crane, save these people. They don't deserve all of this.
You, give me that torch.
After the escape, Kyle leaves the slums and sets off to Old Town, which is where Jade has taken the late Dr. Z's research, as trapped there is one Dr. Camden, who was working on the cure alongside Zere. Now, while travelling to Old Town, Kyle is radioed by Troy, one of his friends in the area, that the MOD believes no one is still alive in Haran. Therefore, the only logical answer could be to bomb it into oblivion to stop the outbreak. In an attempt to not be bombed, Kyle and Troy's group light fires that are clearly man-made, only for the MOD jets to destroy them as quickly as they were created. Now in Kyle's final 8-mile moment, he decides the only thing he can do is to casually scale Haran's tallest radio tower in an attempt to get a signal to the outside world. And, well, he is the main character, so at the last second, it works.
Anyone who can hear me, please listen. My name is Kyle Crane, and I'm sending this message from inside the Haran quarantine. Colonel Tanner and the Ministry of Defense have lied to you. There are still survivors inside the walls. They plan to firebomb Haran, but if those bombs drop, you will know Tanner and the Ministry are cold-blooded murderers.
Holy shit! There's someone alive in the quarantine zone? Hey, do you copy? Do you copy? It's Waldron!
That was too close.
With the city safe, it's back to finding a cure with Dr. Camden. After failed attempts to get into contact with Jade, Kyle finds out that she's been kidnapped by Rice. This dude, I swear to God, he has like an S-grade kidnapping stat. After fighting through the museum where Jade is being kept, Rice reveals she has been bitten and is near to turning, giving Kyle only one vial of antizin. But, because he saved that other dose earlier, he can inject... Wait, he doesn't? She dies? What? I thought that was the whole point. What was the point of keeping one? I don't understand. After Jade dies, Tahir, one of Rice's main enforcers, who I swear to God is like 10 foot tall, fights Kyle. After defeating Tahir, Kyle returns the research to Dr. Camden, though Camden explains he needs the research that Rice has from Zere's lab, from the slums, to complete the cure. So, off Kyle hops, hopefully for the last time, to fight Rice. Kyle on his way figures out that the GRE intend to weaponize the virus, and that Rice has made a deal to give the data to them in exchange for safe passage out of Haran. Kyle, of course he can't let this happen, so he heads to Rice's base and confronts him.
So, face to face again. I guess that means I don't need this anymore.
With or without it, Suleiman, you're dead.
Come now, Crane. Do not pretend you don't care. How many lives depend on this disc? Hundreds? Thousands? Perhaps billions. about one thing, Crane. Suleiman, he's dead. He died with his brother in this city. You don't even belong here, Crane. You don't know what suffering is. I will teach you, Crane. You will suffer alongside me. Yes, go on. You cannot resist. Do it, I won't fight you. Just as you killed Tahir. Do it!
Fuck you, asshole. You want me to make my own rules? Rule number 1. You're gonna spend the rest of your goddamn life in fucking agony.
Do not leave me like this, Crane. Prove you are a man.
God.
Take your vengeance.
Will you just shut the fuck up?
You dangle on the edge of life and death, while the GRE wait to take me to a hospital. I give you the honor of deciding your own fate. Hand me the disc, so that there is at least a chance that Haran might live, and I will make your death painless. Or resist. The city along with you. You have until the count of 5. 1, 2.
All right. Here! Let's ask for a decision, asshole! What do you want?
Rise already told us he had that dead scientist data. All we're interested in is the cure. We're offering you a chance here. Get the rest of the research and come with us.
I can think of a lot of reasons to tell you to go fuck yourself, but why don't we just pretend for a minute that you don't think I'm stupid? You need the cure. It's here, in the city, somewhere. And as long as it is, you won't try to pull any Ministry-style bullshit.
Crane, why do you even give a fuck what happens to these people? You don't belong here. This is just a job for you.
No, not anymore, it's not. I'll be in touch when I've decided what to do next.
And that's it. No more story. Well, that's a bit of a lie. There is a DLC. I do own it. It's called The Following. It seems great. It's got cars and stuff in. It's a bit more open, not really dense like the slums and Old Town were in the main game. So maybe if you want to see a shorter, quick video on The Following, let me know. So that might be the end of the campaign, but it certainly isn't the end, just yet, of this video. Dying Light doesn't just have that story mode that we've just gone over, it's also got a Be the Zombie experience, where players can do just that. Though it turns out nobody wants to play it, as soon as the games would open, everyone would leave. I know, apparently I am just that good. Though I did actually get to play one game of Be the Zombie. It was against somebody who was definitely AFK, and I clearly won. My thoughts? I guess. The creators of Dying Light, Techland, have quite a good bit of experience with zombie games, as they've also created games like Dead Island and the series' future title, Dead Island Riptide, both of course extremely well received. So, when making Dying Light, the developers got it so perfect. It holds on to that zombie slashing fun with its crazy gory combat, while also shooting out left field and adding parkour to that mix, which was done perfectly. Now, none of this would work if the environment wasn't masterfully created, and to say Techland did a good job with Harran would be doing them a disservice. The fact that they can build a whole area that has low buildings yet is fun to traverse and parkour through is amazing. I find myself loving every moment in Harran, running from car to car on a zombie-infested highway and breaking my ankles when I accidentally don't click the right button when I'm jumping. No doubt one of the best maps of its generation in gaming. The progression is created just as well as the rest of the game. You can truly feel the natural movement of Kyle and his mindset when stuck in Harran. He goes from using spare pipes and table legs to an intricately designed blowtorch knife. The level and design of the weapons shape Crane. They build on his character. No, they are a reflection of his character. The deeper Crane falls into Harran, the more he risks for these people, the more he destroys in search of the best result, the more intricate his killing machines get. Flames, electricity, infected tissue, explosives. Maybe the GRE were right. Maybe it all was for the greater good, and Crane couldn't see past a childlike fantasy of good and bad, which led to the deaths of hundreds of innocent people. In search of what? Justice? Revenge? Survival? The only reason anyone would need those things is because Crane fucking put them there. Crane may have been the good guy from our perspective, but damn was he the bad guy for a lot of other people.
Jade, who's your friend? Kyle Crane. So I'm supposed to get a vaccine?
What? You have the look of the tower about you. What do you want?
I'm here to make a deal.
It's very possible that Rise is our man. So if you find an airdrop containing Anderson, destroy it.
Oh, shit. Doc. Anyone who can hear me, please listen. My name is Kyle Crane, and I'm sending this message from inside the Harran quarantine.
Crane? Hello, Crane, can you hear me? It's Camden.
Yeah, Doc, I hear you. What's going on?
The analysis just finished on the tissue samples. The results are... well, I don't think the word phenomenal is too strong. Crane, if you can recover Zara's data, I'm certain a cure is within reach.
All right. Hey, we'll talk about it next time I see you.